Who is Hank Davis? That'll be the topic of conversation today on this episode of Sprint Car Central. How's it going, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Sprint Car Central. Today is, what day is it? Wednesday, February 18th of 2026. Hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yesterday's episode, we recapped the Winter Dirt Games with the USAC Sprint Cars. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But today, we're talking high limit racing, and we're talking the newest Rookie of the Year contender. That is Hank Davis, the driver of the 17 GP for Michael Ditcher Motorsports. I think somewhat of a surprise, but this is a Midwest team. This is a team that has the funding and certainly intends to be a competitor throughout the course of the season. We've seen a lot of different drivers in that 17 GP kind of getting it ready for whoever was going to take over long term. And, I think the storyline for me, at least, when I was kind of thinking about this was you look at the recent years and specifically the addition when they brought Tim Schafer in to drive that race car. I felt like that was kind of the tune-up to make sure this team was ready to go national tour racing. They got the information they needed, and then they went and got the driver they needed. And this is where we talk a little bit about Hank Davis today, because this is a kid that not a lot of people know, not a lot of people are aware of, unless you're a Chili Bowl Nationals fan. So you got to ask, why is this team going full-time racing? At least some people have certainly had that thought. Well, here's why. One, it's a very simple rookie points fund between two drivers at this very point in time. That's the 13 Buick Motorsports Tanner Holmes, and now this Ditcher Motorsports 17 GP of Hank Davis. Last year, Hank Davis was able to pull off a 410 victory, a Power I win with with Power I at Callaway, Missouri. Has a history with three ASCS national victories in the 360s. Has been pretty solid, just steady improvement. He's a really talented race car driver. We'll talk a little bit more about the success and history of his career a little bit down the line. But the recent success is certainly there. They made 2 of 3 features at Volusia Raceway Park, or Volusia Speedway Park, I'm sorry, which I think is a really tall nod to where they're at right now. And we'll talk a little bit more because there's a little further into this that I think we should make mention of. But you make 2 of 3 features at Volusia, that's a big deal. That's a really strong statement early, because that is some of the best coming out and racing, taking a chance at getting the Big Gator title, of course, with the Dirt Car Nationals, but also that's just 3 stout fields with really great race cars. And you could say that they were certainly one of the better of the high limit cars that showed up that weekend. Of course, it wasn't everybody, but they were one of the better cars, I think, of the high limit stable that showed up. You look at last year's results with high limit, Hank Davis was 6 for 6, made every single feature that he attempted in 2025, including a 9th place finish, his only top 10 of the season with the high limit, but nonetheless, a 9th place at Lucas Oil Speedway, I think it is, Lucas Oil Raceway, the short track out there in Missouri. That's kind of a big story here, because they're going to continue to improve. I think he's only done that in his entire career. Continue to improve, continue to get better. I'm going to bump the volume up a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me better. But, I just personally think that this is going to be a really fruitful move for both the 17 GP, the Ditcher Motorsports guys, and Hank Davis. I mean, this is a chance for him to really prove where his talent is. For those that don't know, he's been on the midget and micro scene for a while, going back at least the last 7-8 years that I can remember, and really has come onto the scene strong the last probably 3 or 4 years at the Chili Bowl Nationals, which is probably, I think, the biggest test. There's a lot of luck involved, certainly, in that week, and keeping everything together, making sure you don't get crashed out of your heat races and stuff like that. Make sure you get the right draw, But nonetheless, the consistency is there. You look at this past season, Finished second, or this past Chili Bowl Nationals just a month ago. Second in Tuesday prelim to Blake Hahn. Ended up transferring directly into the feature on Saturday. Finished third on Saturday behind Emerson Axum and Kevin Thomas Jr. were the top two there. You go back last year, not great. They made the feature, but weren't overly great. They had a decent run. I think they finished 12th in the A main. It was a solid week, but not their best work. You go back to 2024, they finished 5th in the Saturday feature event. And then you go back to 2023, they were a prelim night winner 2023 on Tuesday. This team has, or this kid, I don't want to call him a kid, he's a man, but Hank Davis has certainly proven his worth, I think, as time has gone on. He's only improved every time he comes back somewhere. He seems to improve every time he gets into the car, which is certainly a plus sign. You know, you continue to get better every time you step into a race car. I think that certainly gets noticed. This is a legit contender for Rookie of the Year. I don't know about top 5 in points because it's a really tough series. But what I will say, I think they have a potential to compete for Rookie of the Year, and what they're really trying to compete for is go back-to-back top 8 points finishes, which would then lead to them getting, trying to remember how this works. So to be a part of the essential charter system that they have, or that they're trying to put together for high limit racing, I need to look a little further into that. That's something I still am a little iffy on how that's working or what that situation looks like. So forgive me, I do apologize, but I will fix that information and make sure I get it correct as time goes on. But to me, it just feels like this is a team that can really come out and compete right away. They might win a race or two. I don't know. It depends. I think their best chances are going to be in the Midwest because that's just where he's raced the most. He's from the Midwest, kind of has that experience over there. We'll see what happens. I think that there's certainly a lot of opportunities for him, though, and there's some tracks even outside of that are going to fit his style a little bit. Of course, battling with Tanner Holmes is going to be a big deal. That's going to be kind of the talked about story of the YouTube star versus Hank Davis, who's kind of a rising star in the sport. I'm excited for it. I think it becomes a really intriguing battle. It becomes something that puts eyes on the high limit racing series, and continues to keep the attraction for sprint car racing at an all-time high. So it's going to be really fun. I'm not going to make a prediction because, I have a high limit preview coming out later, probably early next month, but it is something that it's on my mind, and I want to just kind of come on and talk about it. Unfortunately, this news dropped after I had recorded the video for yesterday and was already way too busy with other things around the house. So, thankfully we had time to get this out today. I'm really excited to kind of see where this goes. The high limit season is starting to shape up a little more. It's a 2-car Rookie of the Year battle, but there's plenty of race cars in it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the high limit season brings. We've got some different stuff coming later on this week, though. Keep in mind we've got ASCS action this weekend at Central Arizona. I made mention yesterday Wyatt Miller's going to make his ASCS debut, his 360 sprint car debut. That's kind of a cool storyline going into that for those who may be looking for a reason to watch Central Arizona Raceway. That would be probably a reason to watch. Got some other things going on too. Of course, the NASCAR season has just kicked off. Congrats to Tyler Reddick, former dirt racer himself, former non-wing sprint car racer himself. Punching his ticket, winning the Daytona 500. It's a really cool storyline to come out of the Daytona weekend. I don't really talk a lot about NASCAR or anything here because, well, we have a title and it's Sprint Car Central. But a lot of people know that I am a big racing fan, so and a big NASCAR guy. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, the IndyCar season is getting ready to kick off too. That's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of really cool things going here in the near future with the racing world. So don't miss out on any of it. Check it all out. And yeah, with all that said, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Let us know what you guys think. Will Hank Davis be a Rookie of the Year contender? I'll be making sure to make mention of some of these comments later on in that high limit preview. So thank you all so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you in the next episode of Sprint Car Central.